guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about my run clearing first one of the Carina challenges for the 10th anniversary. I finished it about an hour ago and a bit. Went in completely blind. There are a few things that I would do differently, but for most part I think I was on the right track, because I think I did in sub 20 revives, and it definitely could have been less, because even though I went in blind and I tested out a few matchups that didn't work, and I wish there were a couple of champions that I didn't bring with me, overall I definitely didn't have like a bad time or experience. So if we take a look at these paths, I do have kind of cut off the bottom here. My apologies for that. I'll try to pull it up a bit. 1 second. It doesn't really want to let me, but here we go. So that is this green line where you have to go through Titania, Vision Arcus, Omega Sentinel, Airwalker, Captain Britain, Wiccan, and Psychoman. So the team that I used was Hulk, Atuma, Absman, White Tiger, and Serpent. Serpent by far did the most of the heavy lifting. Serpent was absolutely phenomenal. I used him for 4 of the fights. I will have a write-up of which fights I used him, well, every champion for, a bit later in the video. Then Abs was the second star. Abs is absolutely great for this run as well. And the Hulk you can kind of interchange with a different science champion. So that is what we're going to focus on a bit later as well. So this is the hashtag gods and hashtag calls worthy champions. The wording on it is quite unique, so I do believe that you have to have at least one god and at least one calls worthy hashtag champion with you. So you can go to the team and take a look at what are the options of the hashtag calls worthy and hashtag god. And then we're gonna, once again, need to find calls worthy. Take a look at, the most likely used options. So you do have Abs, Serpent, Hercules, Atuma, Hulk, and Chantress, as well as Juggernaut, which I do not think is quite needed for this pass. White Tiger, Odin. You do have, obviously, Thor Ragnarok, which in theory might actually be quite decent. You have Angela, and then obviously like Loki and Hela and OG Thor and Valkyrie and stuff like that. And you also have Heimdall, which is not irrelevant, which I kind of wish I had added to my team. So now that I have showed you guys the team that I used, we're actually going to go and construct the team that I wish I brought in. So this is also going to serve as a pseudo guide for this run. I may or may not do another video, but let's exit, go to team select. We're out of this, and I would definitely not bring in Atuma. Didn't really try him much because Serpent kind of did all the matches I would have wanted to use him for. I thought he might be quite cool because of the path node that we have here is every time you parry you get a tranquilize passive, but Atuma is kind of unaffected by the ability accuracy reduction. But overall, Serpent did phenomenally and that node didn't really hurt too much. And also White Tiger. Anything that I thought White Tiger might be good for, Absman was just head and shoulders better for. And then instead of Hulk, you can bring in Titania, but I would bring in one of the, science champions for Wiccan, because, yeah, you can also technically do that fight with Abs or maybe somebody else, but still, I would want one of those champs with me. So the team that I wished I brought in would probably look more like this. I might want to rank up my Odin because he might be useful for something, but it's mainly the synergy. So here we go. We have this one, and then obviously I would likely just add Heimdall as well. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think being able to tank a few level 3s would have come in handy again in a handful of fights. So you would have the immortality, you would have this bulwark as well, where Heimdall's indefinite fury armor, precision and aptitude buffs. Okay, that's not important. And this is also not too important, to be honest. But it's still, cheat death mechanic. Think more than likely that's what I'd bring in. Maybe it's worth bringing in Hercules. Don't really think so, to be honest, though. Yeah. I would have just brought in Heimdall instead. This would have been my team, because I would give the pre-fights to Odin. Sorry, I would give the pre-fight, Odin's pre-fights to Serpent, making his Fury stronger, and that would also help me a bit better in the Psychoman matchup, even though Psychoman was a very easy matchup. It, would still be quite neat to have that Fury potency increased. And yeah, that's about it. And then you have the cheat death mechanic, because yeah, both White Tiger were quite unnecessary, and you can definitely do the entire run, only using those champions. And then when it comes to science class, maybe Titania is better, but you can also do it with Absman that fight for sure too. So yeah, that would be my team for sure. And here is how my run actually went. So on Titania, Serpent absolutely crushed that fight. I did like 80% in my first go with it, and that was, quite easy. Arcus, I used like 3 or 4 revives just because of the AI and him getting to level 3, and every time he did, you get insta-KO'd. So this is where the Heimdall would have helped quite a bit, because, the fight was perfectly under control, and Absman heals even if you take some chip damage, but it was just the level 3s that got me. Against the Meg Sentinel, I used about 3 revives, I think. That also was Serpent. So, Omega Sentinel, I need to write that down. It's Serpent. Quite easy. Just with Serpent in general, you for most part just do your level 1 spam. And this is the fight where you maybe want to bring in Hercules for. Airwalker, I tried a couple times with White Tiger, which was a mistake. White Tiger doesn't do this fight nowhere near as well, so I think there's like 2 extra revives. But with Absman, you're going to have a solo or a 1 revive fight for sure. Absman does this fight crazy good. Captain Britain to Serpent, about 2 revives. You don't need to worry too much about reverse controls, just push her to level 2, and then when she throws it, you have more than enough time to get out of the way. And yeah, Serpent did it very, very well. Wiccan, just use Hulk, just kind of like nuke him the best you can. You're going to take some incinerate damage along the way because, the fight is such. But yeah, Wiccan was just fine with Hulk. You can do this fight with like Absman and some other champions, but you just need to exclusively push Wiccan to level 2s then. And Psychoman was Serpent, 1 revive. So overall, quite a painless run. This run is live on my channel right now. I will rename the stream to include the challenge's name. And this was my first, run of these Korean challenges. So far, I'm very, very excited for them, and I look forward to jumping in the next ones. And for people asking questions about Serpent, because I used him a lot, Unduped Serpent will work as well just fine. And 6-star rank 5 Serpent will also do just fine. Absman you do want as, highly ranked as possible. And then again, in between Hulk or Titania, whichever champion you have higher ranked, will do well. And that's the core of it. So yeah, my team that I would use, just again to reiterate, is mainly Serpent, Absman. Those 2 deal with almost all of the fights. And then either Hulk or Titania for the Wiccan fight. But again, you can brute force it with Abs as well. And then just something for synergies. That's literally quite it. And now, I did get my Deathless She-Hulk piece as well, obviously thanks to that. And I do look forward to tackling the next challenges. Mutant one seems to be the other easier one. I do think the 2 parts on the right side that you need to do have a run at, path starting Jubilee and path starting Odin might be a bit trickier. Mutant seems to be doable quite well, and the left side was easier in general. So that's probably going to be the one challenge that I kind of focus on next, using the rank 3 onslaught. I'll probably end up taking my Storm to rank 2, exercise my APOC a bit, even though I don't plan on using the APOC. Or do I rank up APOC and Strife? No, I'll probably do the Storm and APOC for all of these, because APOC with level 3s, should be quite potent for Necropolis, and as well make them horsemen, or both of them. And yeah, so you can expect a live stream maybe quite soon, even though it is very, very late. Right, that is it for now, and I hope this video was useful. So this was my first run. You can watch it live as well, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information